Hi everyone, welcome back to De Lectura, and this is a second part of starting with the classics, and this time I've chosen the medieval time, and the story that I've chosen, or the book that I've chosen, is the Canterbury Tales. And this is a setting when many pilgrims would go on pilgrimage, and these pilgrims, or this group of people, are all on horseback and they're on their way to Canterbury. And in order to keep each other busy and to pass the time, they tell each other stories. So the Canterbury Tales is a collection of those tales that they've told each other. And there's different characters, and one of the people in that group is the knight, noble, honorable. So he has a really sweet story to tell about honor and loyalty and all those good virtues, whereas when you have the other characters in there, which you'll read on, some stories get pretty bawdy. So I chose a nice one. The first one that I'm going to read from you is from the Usborne Classics Retold. This is the Canterbury Tales. This is a Chaucer. Geoffrey Chaucer is the author of the Canterbury Tales, and this translation, or retelling if you will, is by Sarah Courtauld, Dr. Abigail Wheatley, and Susanna Davidson. And I believe, I don't know if I have a copyright here, 2008. Okay, so I'm going to read you a little excerpt from The Knight's Tale. And let's see, and this is when Duke Theseus comes upon grieving women as he's on his way to Thebes. And here we go. Duke Theseus was filled with pride as he showed off his new bride, but as he neared the city gates, his ears were pierced by a pitiful wailing. A group of women, dressed in black, threw themselves in his path. "Help us," cried the eldest woman, falling at Duke Theseus's feet. "We are sorrowing widows. Our husbands died attacking the evil King Creon of Thebes. Even now their bodies lie piled up outside in a rotting heap, left out for the dogs to eat. Creon will not let us bury our dead." That's it. Okay, that's the first level, your grammar level, where you get the basic what and who. Now we're going to go to the second level, which would be closer to a middle grade level, maybe early elementary school. That would be a logic level where you get more of the why. This is a retelling of the Canterbury Tales by Peter Ackroyd. This is from Penguin Deluxe Classics Collection. This is a really cool book. I love how it has like the little comic strip on the end papers, on the French flaps. So I'm going to read you that same snippet from the Canterbury Tales, The Knight's Tale. And here we go. I'm trying to find my starting spot. Give me a second here. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, here we go. "Wretched woman that I now am, I was once the wife of the king known as Capaneus. He was one of the 7 who stormed the city of Thebes. But there, at the gate of the city, he died, struck down by the thunderbolt of Zeus. It was the most cursed day of my life. You may know my name, Evadne. All of these women with me, flowing in tears, also lost husbands at the siege of Thebes. Yet the old man Creon, now alas, king of Thebes, is filled with anger and evil. No, he is not king. He is tyrant of Thebes. With malice in his heart, this tyrant has defiled the bodies of our dead husbands. He has stripped them and piled them in a heap. He will not allow the corpses to be burned or buried. Instead, they have become the prey of dogs and other scavengers." At that, the women set up another wail and beat their breasts. "Have mercy on us," one of them cried out. "We wretched women beg for succor. Let our sorrow enter your heart." So that's that one. And by the way, I want to mention that the Canterbury Tales is written more in a poetic style. So the retelling by Peter Ackroyd is written more in prose. So it looks just like a regular, novel. No format like a poem. And if you look at this next one that I'm going to read you, which is the Canterbury Tales by Oxford World Classics, and this one is a translation by Peter Levy. This is written more like a poem would be written. So I'm going to read you. This is the last one that I'm going to read to you. This would now be more of a high school, college level, third level rhetoric. So this fleshes it all out, so you have, so now you can process it and give your own thoughts on it. A little more formal, a little more fancy. All right, so here we go. Same excerpt. I who weep and wail in misery like this was once the wife of King Capaneus, who died at Thebes, a curse upon that day. And all of us who are dressed as you see, we who are making all this lamentation, have each of us lost husbands in that town, killed in the siege. And now the ancient Creon, who is, alas, the lord now of the city, brimful of anger and iniquity, out of tyrannic malice has defiled the bodies of our husbands who were killed, and dragged them all together in a heap, and he will neither vouchsafe nor permit either their burial or burning, but has given them over to the dogs to eat. So now you see those three different levels. Have absolutely no self-consciousness about starting here. Enjoy the story, get the basics. And then you can work your way up either to this or go straight to this. It all depends on what level that you're at. And also, before we leave, I just want to show you two little things. And I didn't want to read from you just to, not be too redundant. But I also have a book called No Fear, the Canterbury Tales. They also have a series called No Fear Shakespeare. And what it has is, this is the original English that the Canterbury Tales was written in. I know I'm wrong. I think it's called Middle English, but don't quote me on that. And the spelling is kind of weird, and you could try it out. I mean, it's really neat to see what English was like at that time. And then over here on the other side of the page, on the right side, they have a modern day translation of the same thing. And it sounds a lot like the translation by Peter Ackroyd. But these are really helpful. If you don't have a child's version to start from, these are very, very helpful. And these are published by SparkNotes. And the last thing that I want to show you is my Folio Society edition that I had gotten a while ago. And because I just moved here, I had a lot of my books in storage. I forgot some of the stuff that I had, but I was really thrilled to see that I really did have a really nice edition of the Canterbury Tales. And this is the folio. You see it? Beautiful pages. And I even tagged the same section. And I wonder who translated this one. Let me see. David Wright. David Wright. That's going to become familiar to you because he's done a lot of other translations as well. And this particular edition was published in 1998. So this one's also very pretty, and it had, look, I believe it's, what do they call that when they etch it on a piece of wood and then they stamp it? That's what I think it is. Really cool stuff. But I just wanted to show that to you before we left because you know how we bibliophiles are. We just love to show off our books. So there you go. I hope this helped you to better understand how to start with the classics and where you might be at in your journey. Enjoy. Thanks for coming. Bye.